So, why War Machine? Is she violent, you ask yourself? So, I've been big on metaphors since I was a kid. It has to do with my autism. I've mentioned before that I enjoy listening to music that has metaphorical meaning to me. War Machine got this name after she was T-boned in 2020. And the name came in handy after what happened with Hendersonville. I've always been extremely creative with metaphors. So, War Machine declares war on police corruption is a non-violent movement. It is a movement that involves several things because all of them have something to do with what happened to me. My intent, when I speak of war on police corruption, okay, is to have the feds come in and investigate the county. To be so loud that and putting an investigation into my wrongful conviction and the illegal impound of my service animals, and they say there's something wrong. She didn't do anything. There's no proof against her. So we need to fix this because it's not all right. This is a miscarriage of justice. And once that happens, I'm hoping that I can help to overturn other people's wrongful convictions as well. And this is not something that will happen overnight. But when I find when the feds finally do take my challenge to come and investigate this county, okay, so that's gonna be like if somebody or you are suffering a wrongful conviction right now by supporting this movement, there's a chance, even no matter how small, that your conviction can get overturned if I am successful in what I would like to do. So, this is something my brother taught me. He's ex-military and he taught at law school. And he taught me how to look up different laws by state and federal and what they all mean. So the feds are always going to be over county and local and state. That's why I've been challenging the feds to investigate this issue. And that's who I want to come in and investigate because I don't know how deep this problem goes and I don't have the resources to find out. But if I can attain justice for myself and a few people by doing this, it is worth it. And uh, and when the war is won, it will be because the feds cleaned out the bad officers in the county and then only the good ones are left. That's when the war has been won for this county. And we can start branching out to others, getting justice for other people, getting the attention of politicians for reform ideas. There is no police reform without justice system reform. They go hand in hand. And it will take quite some time. It could even take years. It is something that's worth fighting for. I've watched our country go at first steadily downhill with the divide between citizens and police. And now our country is just rapidly going downhill, and we're all scared right now. We don't know where this is going. But I'll tell you where it's going if you don't want to take a stand for your freedoms before they are truly gone. Our freedoms and our constitutional rights have been under constant attack by all of the politicians from both parties. Okay? So, what we need people to remember united we stand, divided we fall. And that's why that's part of the movement because there is this movement. No movement can be successful on the scale that I am aiming for without first being able to reach the public, to gain the respect of the public. Okay, that's my goal right now. What matters most to me is public opinion. This is why I try to remain respectful, even when I don't understand why somebody is being hateful, e.g., the owner of the building at Planet Fitness. And case in point, by the way, okay, I'm not the only person who's had my service dogs illegally impounded in Henderson County. Granted, there is only one other person that I've heard of, but I guarantee you there's people that I haven't spoken to yet that have had it happen to them. And that's also something that needs to be investigated, and a stop needs to be put to that. Because there are laws against this. We have local and county officials. Granted, this is not the only town that's got the issue. They are breaking federal laws, state laws, local laws. They are twisting and distorting our justice system to fit their means. And believe it or not, and I just spoke to two people today who are dealing with a similar issue with the county. And they're tired of it and they want to change. Well, you can go on Facebook and you can scream revolution and caps lock and it ain't going to do nothing but, you're just screaming with pixels. You got to get out and you got to protest. And when you get out and you protest, you need to look at, you look at the history of protesting. Okay, there's two types. Now, unfortunately, in our even most recent history, rioting and looting has actually gotten the government's attention enough to start creating a change. And I am not encouraging anybody to go and riot and loot. But what I am saying is look at it. It has caused change. I see it to be a necessary evil in some circumstances in order to create change. I still do not condone such things. And I would shit a brick if somebody who joined my movement was in the middle of the road with a sign protesting, blocking people from going to work or wherever they need to go. That is not what I want. You do not gain public respect by disrespecting other people and their lives. You gain public respect by remaining respectful. And you gain public respect by proving this is the change that I want. And that's what I'm aiming for right now. I am aiming for a change. And the only way to do that is to start small. I have plans for a larger scale. But right now, start small. Start somewhere and then branch out. So I have sent emails to several news stations with some of the phrases like, would you know anybody that would go to war with an entire county over their dogs? Now, and there's a lot of us, okay, they're saying it and then actually doing it. Now, I've actually done it. My car is the proof of this. And do you see me acting violent at all to achieve what I want? No. Sometimes I get mad at the world and I just go to bed. That's about the extent of that. Or if I have dirt on somebody and this dirt, putting it on the internet can help make things better in the long run, I'm going to post that. Like I posted the officers that are breaking the law in the detention center. Felonies, misdemeanors, and crimes all across the board. Federal crimes are being committed by our officials here in Henderson County. And this is something that needs to end. So that is why the movement is War Machine declares war on police corruption. And mind you, there is no police reform without justice system reform. And it takes time to achieve a goal this big, because this is a problem all across our country. Okay? I'm one of the people that's willing to speak up and say enough is enough. And I'm trying to go through the proper and legal channels. And that's why it takes longer. When you go through the proper legal channels, your options are limited, especially when you are somebody who's having financial issues or Maybe you spent that $1,400 on your rent and you just don't have the money for a lawyer. A lot of us have been there, right? Okay, that's where justice system reform comes in. Our public defenders are letting us down. And it's not just in Henderson County, it's all across the United States. And by bringing attention to things like this is how you start the foundation for change. You don't go to Facebook and scream revolution on the internet in pixels, and you get a sign. Okay, they're dirt cheap to make. Get a sign. Go protest outside your local police station, your local jail, your local courthouse, but do it peacefully. Put the changes that you want on your sign. Don't block traffic. And please, certainly don't do any of those things in my name. But do what is necessary to gain public attention. There are more of us than there are of them when it comes to our police and our politicians. And that is not a threat. That is a fact. And by banding together and remembering, united we stand, divided we fall, we can make a change all across America if we want to. And it's got to start somewhere. Somebody has to start something, to start a spark and say this has got to stop. Okay? So and you could say one of my goals is to bridge the gap between police and citizens, and it's a growing gap. It's continuing to grow thanks to the bad ones, and the bad ones are getting more publicity than the good ones. So that's why I put a few videos up of the good ones that do care about their community. And this is a work in progress. Okay, I started a year and a half ago in August 2022. And I've gone actually farther than I thought I could. I didn't realize how many people needed that one spark for their last hope for a change. And I will do everything within my power. I can multitask very well because of my autism. And I will do my very best to cover all of the subjects that I sponsor on my vehicle. Now, okay, another thing that can be ill-conceived is let me see if I can get a picture of the front of my car. Some of you may not have seen it. Demolition Derby. Why does she have that on her car? She's got War Machine on the back. She's got Demolition Derby on here. She's probably a criminal because she has anti-police stuff written on her car. Come talk to me. If you are curious, I am happy to tell you what this is all about. That you don't judge a book by its cover, and you can't fit everybody into one tiny little box. We are not a hive mind. Everybody is their own individual. And see, when this Hendersonville Police Department stole my health, my love, my life, and my peace of mind, okay, I can go into I think I have in a few other videos, several reasons why. Okay, you stole my health, okay? My spine was injured in the Henderson County Detention Center, and I'm having to get on disability because of it. And I really miss being able to work at regular hours. My love, okay, my dogs. There are more people than just me that love their dogs more than life itself. There are more people than me that believes that an animal is for life. You know, you love them like they are your human child. I mean, granted, you don't have to spoil them all the time. They do need to be trained, okay? That's what I mean by my love. Now, my life, okay? I was on my way up. I lost my apartment due to COVID. And this is I can't remember if it's late 2020 or 2021. Okay, but it was around, and I didn't use COVID stay because my dog was killed there. So I transferred to the Amazon in Asheville from Charlotte because I didn't want my dogs to overheat in Charlotte. And so it stole my life, okay? I have been at the bottom my whole life, and everything I've got, I have worked literal blood, sweat, and tears for, because I unloaded trucks for 3 years. And I loved it. I wish I could go back to it, but I physically can't handle it anymore. So, my goal was to restore both of my classic vehicles, and the next house that I have that doesn't have wheels on it, okay, it's going to be something I own. It's mine, and nobody can tell me what to do. And that goal has been completely demolished by what the Henderson County Police and the detention center officers and the sheriff and anybody else involved that I'm not aware of currently. You know, they stole my life. They stole my future. You cannot take somebody who has had no criminal record their whole life, okay, and just decide, well, I don't like that she's got a gun and she's got dogs. She doesn't deserve any of that because she's homeless. And I have been told that's been the mentality of a few people. And I always knew it, but I couldn't believe it when it was confirmed. It's just so unheard of, you know. And my life I was on my way up. I expected to spend a few years saving up for a home, building my credit, fixing both of my classics, and going to the dog park with my children. And those dogs were my children to me. And that has been stolen from me. When you end up with a criminal record, this is another part of justice system reform. When this happens, you have trouble with housing, you have trouble with jobs. So, how does that take somebody off of the street? This is how you ruin lives because of your hatred. And I am speaking to anybody, from Henderson County in power that might be listening to this that has contributed to the problem. Okay? We need justice system reform because of that. And there's many other reasons. That's another reason that we need it. So instead of harassing the homeless and looking for reasons to throw them in jail that are petty, I've actually seen non-existent issues of at an alarmingly high rate in Henderson County. It doesn't do it doesn't do your community any good. Throw a homeless person in jail just because you can. And how's that going to get them off the street when they're going to have trouble with a job and housing? You're contributing to the crime in your community by contributing to things like that. And it's not protect and serve. That's why I had said in one of my videos to protect and serve, not search and destroy. Because right now, actions speak louder than words. No, with no matter what situation. And the county and the town officials are not acting in the best interest of the public. And they put on a good front, with their videos and, oh, we're a part of our community. And here's the thing, have you ever heard of the old term a wolf in sheep's clothing? Because that's the perfect definition of that. They are hiding under the guise of gaining public trust. And it's greatly misguided. So the best way to handle something like this is to be as loud as you can. And that's how you're going to obtain justice. And that's how I'm going to obtain justice. And I would like to hope that you would consider joining my movement to create a change for the better.